Hey everybody, I am going to attempt to provide this video to help you solve literal equations. I want you to go at your own pace. I want you to try to get through the problems and take your notes. If you have any problems, I want you to stop and rewind and try each problem separately. So I'll give you some examples. I'll go through maybe by about problem number 4 or 5. You'll try to do some on your own and then see how you did. Okay, I figured this is a good way to learn literal equations without kind of on your own pace because I know some of you will be finishing the tests at different times. So anyway, let's start. I'm going to just jump right in here. So example number 1, and we are in your notes on 16a, so let's put 16a up here. All right, we are going to solve for y. So we're going to use the same properties that we've been using for equations, all the properties of real numbers, and we're going to solve it. In this example, we're going to solve for y. So I'm going to circle the y because we want y to be by itself. So in this case, we have y plus 3 equals 10. So you should recognize that in order to get 3 to the other side, we're going to actually subtract 3 on one side, and we're going to do the same thing on the other, the golden rule of algebra. Okay, we've been doing this all along, so this shouldn't be a problem. 3 minus 3 is 0, and we're left with y is equal to 10 minus 3 is 7. So there's our first example, all right? So moving on to number 2, all right, again, look and see what we're going to solve for. In this case, we're solving for y. So we want y to be by itself. And it doesn't matter what side of the equation you get it to be on as long as y is by itself. So right now, the only other term we have with y is the negative 3. So to bring the negative 3 to the other side, we're just going to add 3 to both sides. And we do it like this. Okay? So again, our 3's will cancel out. Now on the other side, we can't combine any like terms because they're not like. So it's 2x plus 3 is equal to our y. Okay, now I like my y to be on the left side, so I am actually going to rewrite it as y is equal to 2x plus 3. And that's my answer. Okay, moving on. Number 3. Again, we're solving for y. Okay, now there's our y. Okay, we've got 2y plus 1 equals 4x plus 7. Now this is important. When the variable that you're solving for actually has multiple terms, like it does on the left side, you want to first add or subtract the terms. Okay, so in this case, the other term we have is a constant 1. So we're going to actually subtract 1 from the left, and then if I look over for the corresponding constant, I'm actually going to subtract 1 from the right side. In this case, our 1's will cancel out, and we're left with 2y is equal to 4x, and we have a positive 7 minus 1 is plus 6. Okay, you guys still with me? All right, we're solving for y. So now we've got 2y. This is multiplication. We're going to do the inverse operation, which is division, to get the y and isolate that variable. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. Okay, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we're left with y is equal to 4x plus 6 divided by 2. Now we can take this equation and then we can split it apart. So we can take y is equal to 4x divided by 2 plus 6 divided by 2. So now we've got 2 terms on the right, which we can simplify. Y is going to be equal to, well, 4x divided by 2 would just be 2x, and 6 divided by 2 would be 3. So we just solve for y. Okay, now number 4. Again, we're solving for y. All right, so we want y to be by itself. All right, on the right side, y is divided by 3. So the inverse operation of division is multiplication. So in order to get y by itself, we're going to multiply both sides by 3. So I'm going to multiply this side by 3 and this side by 3. Okay, now we can do that because 3, this is like multiplying, it's actually the multiplicative inverse property. It's like saying 3 times 1/3 is equal to 1. So we can actually cancel out the 3's here, okay? So that goes to 1. So our y is now by itself. And on the other side, we've got 3 times 2x is 6x. We're left with 6x is equal to y. Again, I like to rewrite my equation with the y on the left. So my y is equal to 6x. Okay, at this point, if you'd like to pause this video and try a few and then see how you did, that would be great. If you're not ready for that, then try to follow along. Okay. Number 5. All right, let's see how you did. You're solving for y. So I'm going to circle my y here. Okay, on the left side of the equation, I've got 2 terms. Okay, because one term has 3y and the other term is 6x, I'm first going to subtract the second term. So I'm going to do that by subtracting 6x from this side, and I'm going to subtract 6x from this side because the golden rule of algebra says whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. So in this case, I'm subtracting 6x from both sides. On the left side, 6x minus 6x goes to 0. All right, the additive and inverse property. And on the right side, well, we can't combine these like terms, so we're left with 3y on the left is going to be equal to a negative 6x plus 12. Okay, or I could have written that as 12 minus 6x. Either way is fine. Okay, from here, I still want y to be by itself, so I need to do the opposite, the inverse operation here, 3y. This is 3 divided by y. So on the left side, I need to divide by 3, and on the right side, golden rule of algebra, I need to divide by 3. Okay, so from there, okay, 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay, so they're going to cancel out. Okay, we've got y is equal to negative 6x plus 12 divided by 3. Okay, let's take each one of the terms and split them up. Y is equal to negative 6x divided by 3 plus 12 divided by 3. So now I can simplify. So y is equal to, well, negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. So negative 2x plus 4. There's my answer. Okay, moving on to number 6. All right, number 6, we're solving for y. Okay, so we've got y divided by 4. Again, the opposite operation of division is multiplication, but we're going to be really careful here. Here we're going to multiply by 4. Okay, but the left side of the equation, you've got to be careful that when we multiply by 4, we actually distribute. Okay, because we need to multiply every term by 4. On the right side, 4 divided by 4 is just 1, so they would cancel out. So on this side, we're left with 4 times 6 plus x is equal to y. We can then distribute, and we'll get 24 plus 4x is equal to y. All right. I'm going to then rearrange. I'm going to put my y on the left. And I'm going to actually have my variables first. So this is a positive 4x, and this is a positive 24. So 4x plus 24. Okay. Here's my answer. All right, number 7, we're solving for r. So we don't even have any numbers here, but that's fine with literal equations. Okay, we're going to solve for r. That means we want r by itself. In this case, we've got r times t. So to get r by itself, we're just going to do the opposite of the inverse operation, and we're going to divide by t. Our t's cancel out, and we're left with t divided by t is equal to r. Or we can write this as r is equal to t divided by t. And that's our answer. Okay, number 8, we're solving for c. So I'm going to circle c. All right, in this case, I've got 2 terms. I've got 2b and I've got minus 6y. So I want to start with the 2b and move it to the other side of the equation. So I'm going to subtract 2b from this side. And the subtraction property of equality says I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Okay, now notice these are not like terms. Okay, so I'm going to be careful And I'm going to rewrite this as ax minus 2b is equal to, these would cancel out, and don't forget you have that negative there, so we're going to say minus cy. All right, don't lose sight that we're solving for c, so now we've got to divide by y. Okay, we've got c and we've got y. You actually could divide by negative y. Let's do that. If we divide by negative y, we'll do it in one step because we want to get rid of the negative too. So we're going to divide by this side by negative y and this side by negative y. Okay, y divided by y is 1. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 is 1. So we got c by itself. So we can write this as ax minus 2b divided by y is equal to c. Or we can switch it around so that, c is going to be equal to ax minus 2b divided by negative y. And there's our answer. Okay. Number 9, we're solving for m. All right. When I solve for m, I'm going to subtract 4k from both sides. And I've got 4n is going to be equal to a negative 4k minus 3. All right. And now I'm going to divide by 4. Cancel out. M is going to be equal to negative 4k minus 3 divided by 4. So when I split my terms, I've got m is equal to negative 4k divided by 4 minus 3 divided by 4, which can be further simplified to m is equal to negative k minus 3/4. Okay, I'm going to stop right here. Okay. Okay, moving on to number 10, we're now going to solve for y. So for y, we're going to, let's see, we're going to solve for y here. Whoops. Okay, accidentally erased that y. Okay, so we want y. All right, we're going to subtract both sides by 10x. Okay, so we're left with 5y is equal to negative 10x plus 30. Now we're going to divide both sides by 5. Y is going to be equal to, and I'm going to split this up. Negative 10 divided by 5 is negative 2x. 30 divided by 5 is 6. Okay, I'm going to go a little fast here because I've only got a little time left in the video. I can only have 15 minutes. So 11, we're going to solve for x. I'm going to start by multiplying both sides by p. Okay, when I do that, I cancel out the p's on the right. I'm left with p times m is equal to x plus n. Okay, I'm solving for x, so I want x by itself. So now I'm going to subtract n from both sides. And I write this as pm minus n is equal to x. Or I can write this as x is equal to pm minus n. Okay? Solving for h here. Okay, this is a little tricky. I'm going to first get rid of my fraction. I'm going to do that by multiplying both sides by 2. This 2 times 1 half is 1. So I'm left with 2a is equal to bh. All right, I'm solving for h. So I'm going to divide both sides by b. Okay, so 2a divided by b is equal to h, or h is equal to 2a divided by b. All right, 13, we're going to solve for x. So I'm multiplying both sides by 4. Okay, 4y is equal to x, or x is equal to 4y. Oops, x equals 4y. Okay, there's my answer. And the last one, we've got number 14. We're solving for y. So let's add 30 to both sides. Again, be careful, these aren't like terms. So 20x plus 30 is equal to 10y. And now we're going to divide both sides by 10. When we do that, we've got 2x plus 3 is equal to y. I just simplified. 20 divided by 10 is 2. 30 divided by 10 is 3. So y is equal to 2x plus 3. All right, my 15 minutes is up. Hopefully you guys can figure this out. I will be back. I can help you